Hi there. I'd like to just bring in some perspective to this discussion because I'm so disturbed about the numbers. And I think that still the whole program is so unfair to the wild horses and burros that are supposed to be national treasures of this country. I like to look at the big picture of things. So just briefly, I want to share that to add to what Simona said about 2% of America is all we're asking for these wild horses and burros. We have 1 to 3 million livestock that graze BLM lands. We have 2 million mid-sized to large-sized game animals that graze the public lands. We only have, if we're lucky, 20 to 30,000 wild horses and burros today. This is insane that we are making this big of a deal about a tiny fraction, a tiny number of horses and burros compared to millions of head of cattle and big game and mid-sized wildlife on our public lands. This is insane. We only have, if you use an AML of 26.6 for wild horses and burros, it's like, that's ridiculous. That's like endangered species level. We may have 3,000 burros out there. That is totally an endangered species level for any species to survive. That's a ridiculous number. There is 70,000 bighorn sheep in this country. That's considered a species of concern by the wildlife community. So you're going to tell me and the American people that 26,600 horses and burros is too much, or 38,000 is too much? I'm sorry, it does not fly. We must look at these numbers and be serious about reform here. The AMLs for our wild horses and burros need to be raised so that they are at a sustainable level for long-term survival. That's it in a nutshell. We do not, if we go down to that number, we are not going to have sustainability long-term. This is just facts. And I want to just add to the grazing, the discussion about the grazing. Nobody put in the numbers here. We are subsidizing cattle grazing on the public lands to the tune of $123 million to $500 million a year of taxpayer money. We have to look at this, people. This is not the Arc Ages anymore. The wildlife, I want to address the wildlife that people have said, oh, the wildlife are being, you know, they don't have the water, the horses are ruining and the blah, blah. It's, excuse me, the wildlife have 650 million acres to roam on in this country. They have free reign of all the public lands and the private too. And we have our horses on 26 million acres, and you're going to tell me we have to look out for the wildlife? This is ridiculous. I love the wildlife, but we need to give our horses and burros their fair share, please. The livestock have 240 million acres to roam on of BLM and U.S. Forest Service lands. And I want to also stress that we here come on our own dime. We are not profit-driven. We ask you, just for the sake of these wild horses and burros, we are not profit-driven. Everybody else who wants to use our public lands are profit-driven. So we come from a place to really care about these animals and what's in the best interest of these animals. All the other interests, they just want money. Now, I'm not going to speak to the strategy today. I wanted to give you some recommendations about the NAS study because I believe the NAS study is not going to be helpful or useful at all. But I'm running out of time. I will actually email these to you and get them to you by whatever source I can because I think they're very important. I didn't know that 4 minutes was going to run up this fast, but we need to stop the roundups because we don't know how many horses are out there. We need a census right now today, not 2 years from now when the NAS decides what the modeling program is. We can do forward-looking infrared censusing right now today, and we can figure out every single animal that's out there, whether it's a horse, a sheep, a cow, a deer, an elk. We have it. We have the technology today. Please advise the BLM to do that right now. Thank you.